Hey everyone, it's Sam here for another weekly forecast. This week we have heavy water and air themes, so all about feelings in the water element and communication and mental activity in the air element. So let's go ahead, we'll share the chart and take a look at each day as we go. As always, I've posted the exact transits and times below in Eastern Standard Time, so just make sure to do those conversions. And if you'd like the daily update of what's happening astro weather-wise, feel free to follow me on Facebook or Instagram. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go ahead and we'll look at Monday. So we touched on this a little bit last week, but Venus moved into Virgo at 12:05 a.m. Right after midnight on Sunday into Monday. So Venus, goddess of love and healing, and the cold, wet, energetic, is moving into Virgo, her least favorite sign. But this will also be very, very nice, as we will see throughout the week that the Earth trines with Virgo are going to get very, very strong, giving us some grounding energy. Venus, who was previously in Leo, is now getting tempered, now getting restricted, now putting her hair up into a bun and becoming the manager archetype of Virgo, the mutable Earth sign. Monday is off to a little bit of a rough start because we have two back-to-back squares, one at 8:44 a.m., one at 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard, as the Moon in Capricorn hits Jupiter and then Mercury. So it's going to be rough Monday. Stay low, stay very low, out of people's way, at least until lunchtime. And then, especially as we move into the evening, there's going to be some really great restful transits as the Moon in Capricorn makes a trine to the Sun in Virgo and a trine to the North Node in Taurus. So this is going to give us a lot of really stable, grounded, focused Earth energy that's going to slow us down and get us into our roots, which is always really great. A nice kind of recovery in the second half of Monday. We'll go ahead and pull up the chart for Tuesday. There we go. Okay, so Tuesday is kind of our throwaway day of the week. We have a trine to Uranus and Taurus, a sextile to Neptune, Moon conjoins Pluto, which is going to bring out the unconscious mind and the past. And then the moon moves into Aquarius just around midnight at 11:42 p.m. So not a lot of really strong activity happening on Tuesday. It's a day where you could really make the best or the worst of it, depending on your will, depending on kind of what's happening for you. The sextile to Neptune might make us a little bit sleepy in the afternoon. Moon conjoining Pluto is probably the strongest aspect of the day, which is going to give us, again, all themes that are underworld oriented. So things that are in the back of the mind coming up, the past coming back up, all of those things that we would want to kind of bury the skeletons in the closet are all going to be surfacing because of that Pluto conjunction. But that happens once a month anyway, so nothing too crazy there. We should be prepared for it. And then the moon transitions into Aquarius, giving our Wednesday our strong air trine themes, which is probably going to be the funnest part of our week, if I'm being honest. Okay. On that note, let's go ahead and look at Wednesday. It's Wednesday, it is Mercury's day, and we have a strong Mercury aspect. I love the synergies here. So we start off with a little bit of oomph from Jupiter, a nice sextile from Jupiter at 9:45 a.m. Then as we move into the afternoon from 1:48 p.m. to 4:13 p.m., there is an air trine synergy, which is going to be all about communication, giving and receiving messages, swift exchanges, because it's going to be the moon in Aquarius making a trine to Mercury in Libra on Mercury's day. Just, oh, chef's kiss. Fabulous. And then a trine to Mars in Gemini, who is ruled by Mercury at this point. So we've got lots of really good air synergy on Wednesday. If you're planning on having an important conversation, if you're planning on sending an important email, this would be the time to do it, especially as we move into Mercury retrograde season. This is the last push of kind of helpful air energy before we get into some of the actual stationing and retrograde of the Mercury in Libra cycle. Then, as we move into the evening, the sun will trine the north node. So the ego, who is trying to order things, sun in Virgo, will be making a trine to the north node in Taurus, where we are moving forward, what our future foundations are going to look like, and how we are kind of mapping out that yellow brick road to get us there. And that's a very nice way to end a very active day. So I would shoot for Wednesday as the most positive day. I really enjoy Wednesday. I think it's going to be great. Thursday is a little rough in the early morning. Let's go ahead and switch over to Thursday, the 8th. So Thursday, we have two squares in the early morning. The moon's going to square the nodes overnight at 12:35 a.m. to disrupt sleep a little bit on Thursday. And then early in the morning, the moon will square Uranus at like 6:25 a.m. So that's going to be tricky. That's going to be a hard start to Thursday. So make sure to kind of leverage and bottle the energy of Wednesday and pull it into Thursday with you. We will have everything kind of piecing itself together as the moon conjoins Saturn and Aquarius. This is going to be the kind of, okay, after a rough night, we kind of get our responsibilities in order. The moon then goes void of course. So Thursday, in addition to the rough start, is just directionless for the day, which means when the moon goes void, when the moon is in between signs for almost 12 hours, well, more than 12 hours, it's really going to be a time where we are not influenced by the planets. It's going to be a you're on your own type of vibe. So Thursday is tricky to navigate in that way. First, we're kind of bombarded overnight. Then we get our stuff together with Saturn just to be let go of, and the free reign kind of given. Now, late on Thursday at 11:38 p.m., Mercury stations in Libra. So in a couple days, it will officially go retrograde. Now, for those of you who follow in-depth astrology, we have the shadow period of Mercury that's already been activated, which is the degree that Mercury will then go direct after its retrograde cycle. We've already entered that degree. So some of you have been feeling the miscommunication starting and the kind of revisiting of mental themes happening already. But Mercury officially stations in Libra, which means it's slowing down to go retrograde on Thursday into Friday. So Thursday, definitely an odd day. So I like that, we have Thursday complemented by Wednesday. They kind of cancel each other out. The goodness of Wednesday cancels out the weirdness of Thursday. But as we move into Friday, overnight the moon moves into Pisces. So this is going to be a really great time for sleep to get very, very deep overnight on Friday. Although the morning is going to be tricky because the moon will oppose Venus in Virgo, the overnight sleep into Friday should be very, very good because we love a water sign moon overnight to help with sleep. Now, as the moon opposes Venus in Virgo, we're going to have some relationship conflict set for Friday morning. Venus, who's now a stickler for the rules in Virgo, is going to be opposing the mutable water of Pisces, who is more about the touchy-feely, boundary-less type of energy, and Venus in Virgo is about keeping things on the straight and narrow. So those two will conflict as you get, the hippie vibes of Pisces and the manager vibes of Virgo kind of battling for supremacy. Then in the evening, we have a square between the moon and Mars. So it's a day where we really just need to take it slow, iron out any of the budding miscommunications, really make sure that we understand that Friday is not really a great day to get things done. It's going to be less motivating. It's going to be a little bit frictionous. It's not going to allow us to get a lot of things done, especially as we ramp up into Saturday, which is kind of like the big action day of our week. Friday is just not great, but not terrible. Just some things to keep in mind for Friday. Okay, now Saturday, the big one. So if you look down in the description of the video, we have 6 aspects on Saturday, including but not limited to Mercury officially going retrograde and a full moon in Pisces first thing in the morning. That's a lot. That's a lot to process on Saturday. We start overnight with the moon triggering a trine to the south node, giving us purging, giving us releasing, giving us the ability to kind of get rid of our waste, to empty out the vessel that is our heart, to kind of let our cup spilleth over and kind of clean out the gunk that's been accumulating emotionally. The full moon in Pisces will also help with that as the tide rises energetically. Full moon in Pisces is a very wet and wild time of the year. It's when we tend to get our most sloppy. Boundaries will be very thin. Intuition will be very high. Empathy will be very high. Connection will be very high. And our ability to control ourselves will be very low. And this is a recipe for a lot of things to go right in some ways. If you're looking to connect with people, if you're looking to spill your guts, great time to do that. If you are looking to stand your ground, if you are looking to win an argument, if you are looking for things to go to plan, full moon in Pisces is not the time. It's just not the time for us to do that. Likewise, as the day progresses, moon sextiles Uranus for unpredictability. The moon will then conjoin Neptune, adding a double dose of that water energy. Neptune, at its best, creates an Alice in Wonderland type vibe where you never really know where you're going. Everything is technicolored and fantastical, but it's extremely unhelpful. We might be sucked into hyper spirituality. We might be sucked into deep sleep. We might have wonderful visions that aren't really real. And that's all of the magic of this mutable water energy that's coming full force on Saturday. So really interesting slip and slide happening on Saturday, but not necessarily the most productive of days. The moon will ground us a little bit in the evening as there is a sextile to Pluto and Capricorn, burping up the past, but getting a little bit of that earth energy in there to stabilize us. And then Mercury officially goes retrograde from 9/11/2022 to 10/3/2022. So a little bit longer than 3 weeks, but October 3rd, we will have Mercury stationing direct, and that'll be the end of that period. So it won't go all the way through to Halloween. We'll still have a couple kind of weeks of catch up as Mercury speeds up and gets to teach us the final lessons of that period. But I think it will be a really reflective period, especially because it's paired with the start of this Pisces full moon. Moving into Sunday, our final day of the week. So Sunday, we start with early morning, moon moving into Aries. This starts to evaporate all the water. This starts to get us into heat, starts to get us into activity, which will be the theme throughout the day. Movement, activation, go, go, go. Aries is ready. Aries is ready to do a million things with Mars and Gemini. We must go, we must do. Now, in the early morning, there will be this theme of unpredictability as the Sun in Virgo trines Uranus. What you think should happen and what actually happens, two very different things. Two very different things. Uranus is all about upheaval, and the Sun in Virgo is all about order. So put your negotiating hat on. Really question opportunities before you. What is the best option, not what is the right option? Yeah. There is a difference between those two statements. As we get into the afternoon, Moon conjoins Jupiter in Aries. Just the heat continues to bubble, and we're going to overheat on Sunday if we don't take care of ourselves. So really make sure that any extended activity on Sunday, lots of water, lots of rest, overheating is a thing, but it'll also help to counterbalance the very watery energy on Saturday. See how we're getting this nice kind of Wednesday complements Thursday, Saturday is complemented by Sunday, that type of thing. The moon will oppose Mercury in Libra in the evening, so we'll be so worn out that the mind will be a little bit fuzzy, a little bit hazy, a little bit of communication issues or grappling the mind with now Mercury retrograde in Libra. And then the moon makes a nice sextile to Mars and Gemini overnight to keep us restless into the evening. It's going to be a little bit harder to get to bed as the moon in Aries sextiles Mars, who is ruling the moon. So a little bit of that fire-air combination as a last action on Sunday. Overall, another action-packed week. There is no stopping the skies. Things are always turning. Things are always moving. There's always a telenovela in the drama of astrology. But hopefully that allows you to prepare, to forecast, to see what the energies of the day are going to be at least a week in advance, so you can plan accordingly. And until next time, may the stars be ever in your favor.